Peter Tilley is the Executive Director of the Ottawa Mission, and he is here to talk about the Ottawa Mission and what they're doing. And with the cold weather approaching, I suppose that there's even more need for what it is that you do. So Peter, thank you so much for taking the time. Tell us a little bit, for those that don't know, about the mission and what you do there.
Well, it's an exciting time of year. We're trying to, the holidays are approaching, but as well we know this cold Canadian winter is approaching. So we keep that in mind. We have 238 beds now at the Ottawa Mission, and they're full every night. They have been for the past 2 months. It's been a huge challenge. We're even putting mats down on the chapel room floor at night. So we're certainly worried about what's on the horizon for January and February when we normally start doing that, but we're seeing that's happening in Toronto. It's happening everywhere. It seems that there's just not enough housing, not enough affordable housing, and people are ending up at shelters. And
now, how long have you been at the mission for?
I've been there 4.5 years, so it's been wonderful.
And what have you seen? Have you seen changes in the needs in that 4.5 years?
Absolutely, Jamie Ray. Some big changes where we at the Ottawa Mission moved in a direction, part of our strategic plan a few years ago, to address primarily mental health needs, addiction needs, and a focus on housing people and getting them out of the shelter system. So we've really focused our efforts on moving on what used to be, when I took over the Ottawa Mission, we had 29 long-term stays of people who had been there, some of them up to 10, 12, 14 years. We've housed almost all of those people now, and the shelter wasn't a place for them to be. But to do so, we had to address mental health issues, addictions issues, and get people out of that cycle of staying in a shelter and moving into affordable housing, following the Housing First model.
I think we have misconceptions in terms of who it is that is relying on the services of the mission. Who is the clientele? Who is it that is seeking that help? And thank God that you and your team are there to do that. Who are they local mostly?
Certainly the people staying at the Ottawa Mission, the Shepherds of Good Hope, the Salvation Army, are generally people between the ages of 40 and 50. Often men. In our case, it's a men's shelter, but also Cornerstone, a women's shelter. They would have a different age demographic, slightly younger for the women who are there. But ours are people who have come down a journey of broken paths and troubled childhood leading to troubled youth, some from jail, some from other areas, other backgrounds, but eventually coming into a place like the Ottawa Mission, where we try and give them comfort, certainly a roof over their head, a warm meal, and then if we can start addressing the issues that started many years ago and help them address those, overcome the trauma.
So it's not just a Band-Aid. You're actually there to help these people out of the situation that they're in to lead better lives going forward. Correct?
Absolutely. I think that's the differentiating piece of the Ottawa Mission, is the focus we put on that, as well as working with the Shepherds and the Salvation Army, who are also working on those areas as well too. And that's been our focus the last few years, is really getting people better for the long haul. It seems to be going very well.
It's the holiday season. What are the needs specific around this time of year?
Always looking for turkeys, but certainly we ask people warm coats, warm boots, footwear, any good winter coats, and footwear is important because people often bring in their boots after they're worn out. It's an item that wears out, but new footwear. But also, a lot of people are very busy nowadays, so we invite people, just go to our website, ottawamission.com, and they can figure out how they want to help. They can come down and volunteer, they can support the clothing room, or if they're busy, they can just go online and make a donation and trust it'll go to one of these good programs.
The National Housing Strategy, the Trudeau government, $40 billion in 10 years, housing strategy to help or cut homelessness, they say, by about 50%. With the building of I've just got a few quick notes, 100,000 new affordable units, repair of 300,000 existing units, and a housing benefit, rent subsidies of up to $2,500 per year starting in 2020. Your thoughts?
All good initiatives. Basically, I wouldn't add anything to the picture that many have been debating since this was announced over a week ago, but I think all good initiatives. Many are saying it's nice that Canada has a national housing strategy finally. Many other modernized countries do. One of the hesitations being, I've just talked about some of the challenges of the shelters and the homeless people. We're looking at something that'll start to kick in April 2019 and then move through 2020 before we see some of these issues being addressed. So,
does this leave you hopeful?
Yeah, it leaves me very hopeful.
Of making change? A little bit?
Leaves me very optimistic that at least the dialogue is happening, and now let's all work in collaboration to see how we can all come up with the better solutions. We like the 100,000 new units. We like 300,000 units being repaired. What's that going to look like as we begin to tackle that? I think it's going to involve a lot of partners, and this plan also involves a lot of provincial and municipal partners. What are they coming to the table with? So some optimism. Let's hope it happens.
I know that addiction is a huge, you know, the whole opioid crisis as well, I'm sure is part of the entire picture in terms of helping people through addiction, and it's I think shocked people how much, how prevalent it really is in terms of people being addicted to opioids and people dying every day. So I just want to take the time to wish you a happy holiday, and please keep in touch and let us know through this platform of what we can do to help the people at the mission and help you out. And just thank you to your whole team for what you do every day.
Thank you. Nobody thought they'd be having Christmas at a homeless shelter, but let's make it the best we can for those that are.
Absolutely. And drop off your hats, mitts, coats, all of the warm boots, all kinds of things. Ottawa Mission. Peter Tilley, thank you so much.